Harris.
Vice President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly.
Why put her out there? It looked like when your dad goes with the young woman to help buy a car, you know, why? She hadn't done an interview in so long. Or maybe that's the strategy. They look like a married couple. They look like every interracial couple in every commercial. Here's what the people want to know. The people. Peter, why this is just for you, I think we can all talk about it. What explains Donald Trump's appeal to young men? I saw today that the gender gap, I think, is the widest. I mean, it's very predictable. I mean, the women are much more for Kamala and the men are much more for Trump, generally.
But it's not predictable if you look at past elections where voters under 30, generally men and women, went for Democrats. This is remarkable.
You won't believe what just went down. Bill Maher has finally snapped, and his latest takedown of Kamala Harris is brutal. We're talking scorched earth levels of honesty. Her CNN interview was supposed to be a soft pitch, but Maher turned it into a televised massacre. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, some explosive new poll numbers drop, and they destroy the narrative even further. Buckle up, because what Maher said will leave you questioning everything. Watch till the end before the media spins this into something it's not.
Why put her out there? It looked like when your dad goes with the young woman to help buy a car, you know, why? She hadn't done an interview in so long. Or maybe that's the strategy. They look like a married couple. They look like every interracial couple in every commercial.
Maybe that's the... No, but they messed it up because they didn't do the optics right, because she looked like she was only 2 feet tall and he was up front looking like Frosty the Snowman. So it kind of failed, but I see what they were going for.
Oh, they thought they were being clever, but the internet wasn't buying it. Even John McWhorter raised eyebrows. And honestly, he had a point. That bizarre seating arrangement, it looked like a boardroom brainstorming session, not a high-stakes interview with the potential next president. It screamed corporate PR, not presidential clarity. But here's where it gets really suspicious. The interview? A mere 30 minutes. That's not just short. It's strategically short, wedged awkwardly between Kamala's DNC nomination and her looming debate with Trump on September 10th. Less than 2 months out from the election, and we're supposed to believe there's no time for a single deep dive with the press? Come on, the optics are chaotic.
Tim Walz said, like the American people, I talk like they do. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a huge liar, like all politicians are. I don't care, by the way. I've always said this about politics. They're all going to lie. They're politics. It's what they lie about. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit what you did during the Iraq War. You were in the Guard. So I don't understand why they just can't. You're just insulting my intelligence. When she said, what did you say when Biden called you and said he wasn't running? Well, I immediately thought of him first.
The Democratic ticket looks like it was stitched together overnight in a last-minute scramble, and Kamala's media silence isn't helping. What's worse, there are rumors swirling that the actual sit-down with Dana Bash went much longer, and some of the juicier, less convenient parts may have been chopped. Why? To maintain a carefully curated illusion. That'd explain why Dana served up question after question with all the bite of a wet napkin. No heat, no challenge, just a glossy, comfortable safe space for Kamala to deliver scripted lines with robotic precision. It wasn't just flat, it was plastic. Kamala looked like she'd been coached within an inch of her personality, terrified to say anything remotely risky. And Tim Walz? Don't even start. This man went from political footnote to VP candidate overnight, and he's barely saying anything that inspires confidence. He's not leading. He's lurking in the background like a placeholder. It's no wonder Bill Maher didn't hold back. He torched the whole act. Kamala, Walz, the stage-managed charade of an interview. Because if this is the face the Democrats are putting forward, they're in deeper trouble than they realize.
You know, I mean, fracking. Dana Bash had her dead to rights. It's like, you said this. I have the quote. I'm reading it to you. You said there should be a ban on fracking. Why can't they just go, yeah, you know what? I got it wrong. I was talking to the wrong people. You know, she's had this ridiculously high turnover. Like 42 of 47 people as vice president are gone. Just blame it on them. You know why these are gone? Gave me the wrong information on fracking.
Isn't it infuriating how Kamala Harris still can't give a straight answer to save her political life? Since day one, she's been all flash. No substance, a walking teleprompter spewing buzzwords that sound deep but mean absolutely nothing. But her latest CNN interview, that was next-level political theater. Dana Bash asked her the question everyone's been dying to hear. How can she praise Biden's mental sharpness one day, then suddenly shift gears after his train wreck debate with Trump? Simple question, right? Instead of owning it, Kamala unleashed a minute-long monologue of pure dodge, a spin cycle so fast it gave viewers whiplash. No accountability, no real answer, just the same tired script over and over. She's not leading, she's surviving, barely. On the economy, on immigration, on the future of this country, Kamala refuses to plant a flag. It's all smoke, mirrors, and political yoga, bending whichever way the polls blow. But here's the thing. Voters are done playing along. The facade is cracking. The public is watching, questioning, and not buying it anymore. If this is the face of the Democratic future, they've got a problem bigger than bad optics. They've got a crisis of trust. And the clock? It's ticking, loudly.
Vice President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly. He cares so deeply about the American people. He is so smart and loyal to the American people. And I have spent hours upon hours with him, be it in the Oval Office or the Situation Room. He has the intelligence, the commitment, and the judgment and disposition that I think the American people rightly deserve in their president.
You can't coast on buzzwords and vague answers forever. Eventually, the silence becomes deafening. And when your opponent is Donald Trump, a master of commanding headlines, controversy, and non-stop media presence, going quiet isn't strategy, it's surrender. Kamala Harris seems to be learning that the hard way. While she sticks to the safety of scripted interviews and polished non-answers, Trump is flooding the airwaves with interviews, podcasts, rallies, you name it. He's everywhere. She's nowhere. And the voters, they're noticing. Harris's campaign is already bleeding support, especially among younger voters who are tired of being ignored or pandered to. And the latest polls paint a brutal picture. A gender split so wide, it's not just a gap, it's a canyon. Kamala holds a 14-point edge with women, sure, but Trump is dominating with men, leading by 17 points. That's not just statistical noise. That's a political earthquake. We're not just talking about MAGA diehards here. This is a full-on exodus of liberal and independent men who feel alienated, uninspired, and frankly abandoned by a Democratic ticket that can't seem to speak plainly or lead decisively. And here's the kicker. This isn't just bad optics. It's electoral suicide. The refusal to speak clearly, to own tough issues, and to connect with voters beyond rehearsed sound bites is draining the life out of Harris's momentum. Every missed opportunity, every dodged question, every vague platitude, it all hands Trump more ammo and more airtime. The cracks in the Democratic coalition are no longer subtle, they're glaring. If Kamala and her team don't course correct, and fast, this election won't just be close, it'll be lost. The clock is ticking, and silence won't save them.
Here's what the people want to know. The people. Peter, why this is just for you, I think we can all talk about it. What explains Donald Trump's appeal to young men? I saw today that the gender gap, I think, is the widest. I mean, it's very predictable. I mean, the women are much more for Kamala, and the men are much more for Trump, generally.
But it's not predictable if you look at past elections where voters under 30, generally men and women, went for Democrats. This is remarkable. I think to explain it...
Wait, you're talking about under 30?
Yeah, the under 30
What's going
gender
on
gap.
there?
It's very different than past elections.
Bigger?
Much bigger. So in 2020, young men and young women voted for Joe Biden at roughly the same rate. Over the last 4 years, and now with Kamala Harris, young women are voting for Kamala Harris at that same level, if not more. Kamala Harris has barely moved the needle with young men. They have gone more toward Trump. There's a lot of reasons for that. I think Trump has exploited culture war stuff. He appears on hyper masculine podcasts, and he just seems like a fun bro who's not going to ban your zins,
Without a massive course correction, this campaign isn't just slipping, it's barreling straight into political disaster. With less than 60 days until Election Day, the runway is vanishing fast. The window to pivot, inspire, and re-engage voters is nearly closed, and one bland, buzzword-filled CNN interview won't stop the bleeding. In a world reeling from global instability, economic pressure, and cultural chaos, voters are starving for clarity and leadership. Instead, they're getting a campaign terrified of saying anything real. This obsession with being safe and staying uncontroversial, it's not strategy. It's paralysis, and it's quickly becoming the Democrats' biggest liability. While Kamala Harris sticks to polished talking points and media-friendly appearances, her opponents are owning the headlines. Trump isn't shy. He stirs the pot, dominates the conversation, and stays top of mind. Meanwhile, the Democratic message feels like it's trapped in a boardroom focus group, confused, risk-averse, and completely out of sync with the urgency people feel in their daily lives. The silence on hot-button issues isn't keeping things calm. It's creating a vacuum, and Trump's filling it fast. Enthusiasm is fading, undecided voters are drifting, and the cracks in the Democratic coalition are turning into fault lines. If this tone-deaf strategy continues, the campaign won't just lose momentum, it could collapse under the weight of its own caution. The next few weeks will be brutal. The pressure is real. The stakes, sky high. The only question left is this: will the campaign finally snap out of its coma and fight, or crash and burn in a slow-motion train wreck? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because like it or not, November is about to blow the lid off everything.